So you made almost 6 months or about 5.5 months worth of rent from one property that you used to get 2,200 combined from the two of them before?
Yep, right away, first month. So it's, like I said, off to a fast start.
Especially when it comes to finances, you want to get a return on your investment as soon as possible. And that's what made me jump into them, because I knew I could get the other property, but I wanted more than just the other property. So, and once I got into it, and now having been gone through it, was it worth it? Absolutely. You know, I've had my best month because of going through this training.
So before you started with the program, like what did your revenue sort of look like, and where are you at now as far as just the various strategies that we've taken you through?
Yeah, so before I started the program, my revenue, was about $4,000 a month. And then when I added the second property in July, I've hit around $7,000 with the second property. And then after our coaching in September, the month of October, that's when I hit 10,000 for revenue. And that was like my highest month ever.
And
so literally a $3K increase first month.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how to make it any more clear to people. If you're dumb enough where you don't understand returns on investments, with these types of numbers, this is just not going to be, you shouldn't be in business in the first place. You're going to make your money back in 2 months. Pretty simple. But again, it's because you took the action, you were committed. You gotta connect those dots together. One doesn't work without the other. So kudos to you, Kyle. Well done, my man. And well done to you too, Michael and Katrina, as usual. We're going to continue to have you guys back and feature your successes. You obviously have so much you can teach. I like having these review calls and like I said, just starting to introduce these pudding pack episodes, just because I think there's really only one thing that matters the most to me, and it's results. So the education is fantastic, but you can get obsessed and lost in the studying and the content and never go out and do anything with it. So really, it truly just boils down to taking action before you're going to see any fruit growing on those trees. So great job to all you guys. Really happy to have you here on the channel. Guys, again, one last time, if you like the idea of the results that these three are getting, the one next step for you is to reach out and gather any additional answers to questions you might have. BNB Bootcamp at VIPfinancialeducation.com is the email address. Include a first name, a last name, and a phone number. Michael and Katrina will reach out to you punctually. Guys, it's been one of the best pleasures that I've had in my professional life working alongside you two in such an early amount of time. I mean, obviously, I think, there is sort of a honeymoon period when you're dealing with any level of partnerships, but just from a behind the scenes standpoint, these two are just fantastic. They truly are as genuine and good-hearted as they appear to be on camera, and they really do what they say. And so I'm vouching for you and putting my name next to you as well at this point. But keep up the great work, guys. I encourage you to reach out, see what you can do with this business. And it is truly, I mentioned it, you guys didn't hear, but I mentioned that I had a buddy of mine who asked me, if you lost everything and you had to start over, what would you do? He's in the process of really sorting through. And all I did was copied and pasted a link to our first interview. This is the business model that's the hottest on our radar right now. And I've got a lot of them I'm really impressed by, but this one is the one that really gets me the most jazzed. So I appreciate you guys.
So we own a duplex. It's kind of a unique property, and it's a duplex, but it's actually two separate single family homes on the same lot, which actually helped out a lot for the Airbnb to be able to market them as single family homes instead of conjoined. But so that was our starting point. We purchased that, just right before COVID started. So a little over a year ago. And we used it for a long-term rental for the first year or so that we owned it. And then just recently converted it over and started working with Michael and Katrina. And it's been great so far. So when we bought the property, we kind of thought that eventually we might want to use it for short-term rentals. We're in Rapid City, South Dakota, so we're real close to Mount Rushmore. That's our big attraction here. So definitely a big tourist area, which plays right into this. It's a very hot market for short-term rentals, at least during the summer. So when the opportunity came up to kind of eliminate that learning curve and help us really hit the ground running, we decided to jump on it. So
everyone on this channel is looking for, this kind of income stream, and this is a very intriguing one. Let's talk about some numbers. So
sure.
From outset to now, where do you stand, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. Well, June took off really well. We missed the first 2 nights of June right after Memorial Day, but then we booked up almost the rest of the month. Right now we're at 24 nights rented in June. We got 4 days later in this month that aren't booked. And for June, we're currently at just a little bit over 6,300 in bookings. So that's for the month of June. July, we got our July. Let's see here. July, we have 14 days rented and 17 days still left to rent. And those 14 days rented are up at about 4,000 for total bookings for July. And then we've got just one booking for August so far for about $800. But so all told, everything for Memorial Day through our first booking in July, we're at a little bit over 11,500 in total bookings. So off to a fast start. And that's on that's only off of one of our units at our duplex, and it's the smaller one. So as soon as we get the bigger one up and going, we're expecting or hoping to see those July numbers double or triple from where they're at right now, or even more than that, because we're only half booked for July. So there's a good chance we end up at $8,000 on the smaller property for July, and probably more than that for the bigger property. So we're definitely poised to hit it big for the next couple months here. So
just so I'm clear, so you made almost 6 months or about 5.5 months worth of rent from one property that you used to get 2,200 combined from the 2 of them before?
Yep, right away, first month. So it's, like I said, off to a fast start. And we know that we're not going to sustain this through our winter. Summer months here are our peak season. June, July, August is our peak. We'll probably do all right for September and October. And in the winter months, it does drop off significantly, but we're easily going to make enough just in the June, July, August, September portion to, even if we got nothing during the winter, we would still be able to carry those winter months just fine. And we'll get something in the winter. We're not going to be booked every night at the rates we're getting now, but we'll get something. So
amazing.
That's amazing. We're so proud of you. Those are huge numbers coming in, and that's your smaller unit. I know you had a lot of trepidations getting in on this, and fears, and I hope that quelled your fears really quick about this kind of bookings coming in.
Yeah, well, we got the little unit up and going and started to get a few bookings, and we were plugging along on the front unit, and you get bogged down in the details and it gets tough. We're doing a lot of the rehab ourselves. We're hired out parts of it, but then once those bookings started coming in, it's like, man, I got to get back over there and get that other house done like now. I mean, we don't want to wait anymore. I was over at the other house till almost midnight last night because we want to get every minute we can out of it, because even hustling. One extra night. So yeah,
you're hustling. We're so proud of you. That's awesome. It just shows, like, Adam, that as a student, like, Adam really absorbed everything, but also took the action. That was the biggest thing here. Like, he went there, took the actions, and we guided. Of course, you're going to have fears, but the thing is, even with the second unit, he's staying until midnight to get this up and running, right? He's taking the action to get going with it. That's what we're just really proud of. I mean, we could coach till the cows come home, but it's not until someone actually takes action and does it and gets those results. Like, just like a fitness coach, like, we can't do the push-ups for you, but we'll help you guide until you actually do it and get those results.
Well, and it's like we say to a lot of our students too, the work is definitely front loaded in this business, where it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort to get a unit up and running so you're ready to list it. So, like, yeah, exactly what he's saying. I remember, very reminiscent in our very early days in our business. We were, we called it shift 1 and shift 2. So we'd have our day jobs and work till about 5, 6 o'clock. And then, you zip over to a property, work till 10, 11 o'clock at night and get up and go do it all the next day.
Do it all again. But, that weekend or those days that you're getting it set up can pay for you for years. That's the difference.
If you had to do it all over again, you would rinse and repeat?
If I had to do it all over again, I would do it a year ago when we originally started our properties up. So that's my biggest regret at this point, is that, you see the results of the first month and it's like, why didn't I do this a year ago? But
it's good that you've experienced both sides of it too, because, like, now that you've seen what long-term is like and now short-term, you can really leverage that experience as you go out and start approaching other partners, because a lot of what we talk about from a prospecting perspective is just understanding a landlord's pain. And really, landlords tend to care about 3 things. They want pay on time, don't mess up their place, and don't be a pain in the what to work with, right? So now that you've seen both sides of it, you're really going to be able to leverage that experience, and
and you're
we're
gonna
just super excited.
You're gonna tap into that pain, right? I mean, you've being a landlord yourself, you're like, it's a pain. Like they damaged your place, and you had to do all those renovations. Are you excited now that you never have to do those again, or not for a very long time till you just upgrade the place, of making sure the place is taken care of? Already you're making that solution as well in your own places. So you can take that service to new landlords as well as you start to grow and expand, which we're really excited about.
Yeah. And for us, that's actually one of the biggest selling points, is the access to the property and it getting professionally cleaned on a routine basis. We can keep an eye on things. I mean, the extra money is nice, but if we even just did slightly better than we did long term, I just so far prefer the model, just because we don't have to worry about damage. We get to, I've been in that property twice this week. I was in it twice in the last year when it was rented long term. So just gives us a much better ability to monitor our assets, keep things picked up under control, because nobody's ever going to care about your property the way you do, and to clean it the way you do, and to take care of it the way you do. So we like the extra access. We like the extra cleaning. We like the extra. And then another big thing that I don't think you guys, even Michael and Katrina, have talked about, one of the biggest advantages we've noticed so far is the wear and tear is going to be so much less, because we live in a tourist area. Our guests leave at 9 a.m. They come back at 10 at night most of the time. I mean, so we're not getting people in there all day, every day. You're not getting every door opened 100 times. So I think the maintenance is actually going to be less than it was previous. So all sorts of good selling points. So.
Fantastic. Well, do you have any advice for people that are kind of on the fence right now? Maybe this is a good fit, maybe it's not a good fit. What would you say to folks that are watching this video on our channel right now that maybe have those trepidations?
Well, I would say you just got to find something that's a good fit and dive in. We did a lot of research on a lot of the different things that, VIP recommended. Actually, Michael, I don't know if you remember, I had a call with you about little pink houses 6 months ago or so, or a year ago. So we've kicked the tires on a lot of those. We've kicked the tires on some of the other programs they've recommended. And, we were just waiting to find one that was the best fit for us. I mean, I think all of them are good, depending on who it's for. For us, this one fit perfect because we had our own property. We'd already thought about doing Airbnb. We had a lot of the things in place. Our property was already owned by an LLC. So we had the business entity side of it set up. We had the business bank account set up. So we actually had a lot of the preliminary work done ahead of time, which made it a lot easier for us. So it really just depends on, finding the thing you're interested in and diving in. And one of the big things me and my wife talk about all the time is we kind of tell each other, if you're not at least a little bit terrified, you're probably not doing it right. So if it scares you, just dive in anyway. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to figure it out as you go. If you wait till you have all the answers, you're never going to do anything. So
if you're interested, take a look at BNB. That's B, N as in Nancy, B Bootcamp at VIPfinancialeducation.com. That's going to link you right to Michael and Katrina.
Our tenant there said that they were moving out. So we thought, let's try Airbnb. Let's just try something new. So in part of my due diligence, I went onto Airbnb and was looking at different places in Edmonton to see how they were priced, how occupied they were. And I kept seeing the same two faces on many different listings. And I was like, how are these people doing this? I don't understand. They must be multi-millionaires to have this many properties. That was our first foray into what ended up being a rental arbitrage, just due to the homeowner's finances. However, he's been really great, and 3 of our properties have been from him now. We've actually scaled up with him quite quickly. So the Hamptons, that was a duplex, so semi-detached home, 3 bedrooms with a basement, and actually, to be honest with you, not in great shape. We were a little bit desperate at first just to have somebody say yes. I think that's the hardest part, is that first one.
Yeah.
But we worked with the landlord, and the reason we moved forward with it was because of what a good person he is, and he's turned out to be a great partner, even though it's not in a partnership. So we ended up actually it took a little bit longer than we thought, but we actually ended up repairing all of the walls, repainting the entire house, and split the cost with him. Typically, we wouldn't do that, but we wanted to make it go well. And Daniela furnished it. That one we furnished with the painting and the repairs. That cost us more than we were expecting. I think it was around $18,000. We've since learned from that. The next house, which is the same type of house with the same landlord, that only cost us, I think, about $13,000. So we're getting better as we go along. That one, I think, month to month, all expenses in is round numbers $2,500, and I think on a low end it'll make $3,500 a month. On a high end, probably $5 or $55 in the busier months, I think, is probably where it'd be. Michael and Katrina probably know better than us. We haven't gone a full year through, but I think that's roughly the numbers.
Yeah, on that that type of house, that, and I remember you guys sending us that deal. That would be pretty accurate. So really, because one of the criteria we use when we're evaluating potential deals is criteria number one is it has to make at least $1,000 a month net cash flow. Otherwise, it's probably just not worth your time, right?
And $1,000 a month, like, you know, averaging over the year. Some months might be lower, some months it might be higher, right? So just taking that average throughout the year. So that's one way to actually look at it. So when you guys are kind of doing that math and you're looking at 3,500 upwards of 5,500, 6,000, 100%, right? And you're showing, especially in our market in Edmonton, like our summers are beautiful here and we have festivals and it's really nice. Winter, it is -40, it's cold, it's they call it Deadmonton because it's literally like a dead town, like nothing happens during that time and it's very, very cold. So you might have the down season, right? But still, to make a profit in the down season, that's a really good sign as well.
Yeah, we've certainly seen it. We're just coming into it, but September and October have still been profitable months, which has been great for us.
Looks like you're going to walk away with about $1,500 monthly in profit on that. So what is that going to be, 9 or 10 months until you guys get your initial investment back?
Yeah, exactly. And I think even beyond that, when it comes to this business, at least for us and for a lot of people that are going into this, I think it's more about a lifestyle and moving to different type of occupation, one that you're running yourself. And so to me, even though the payoff or 100% payback of that is 9 to 10 months, immediately $1,500 is adding to the cash flow per month, which is adding to your lifestyle. So to me, that's more valuable than the actual timeline of payback, is if there's that consistent cash flow that's adding up each month.
Well, no, you're initially investing in that cash flow, of course, but to have a payback, I mean, I don't care what it is, any type of investment, if you're getting paid back in less than a year or less, I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, show me investments out there like that, or many investments out there like that, and I'll start writing you checks and we can invest in those things together, because that is just not something that you find every day. So, you know, 8 or 9 or 10 months might sound like a long time to you guys, but in the grand scheme of things, for an absolute return on your investment, and then you're operating in the black moving forward, that is just lightning speed. And then, like you said, you guys are recognizing that cash flow from day one. So that's great. Guys, if you're interested, you want more information, go ahead and email BNB Bootcamp at vipfinancialeducation.com. We're going to go ahead and drop the link below. Put BNB Bootcamp in the conversation in the subject line. Please include your first name, your last name, the best phone number to reach you, and if there's a best time to reach you in the body of the email, shoot that over. Someone from Michael and Katrina's team will be back to you promptly. Guys, Nick and Danielle, it's been an absolute pleasure here having you guys on the channel. Thanks for taking your time out of your day. If you don't mind, we'd like to maybe check back in with you here in a couple months. You guys have a couple deals under your belt. We always love giving those updates if you guys would be willing.
Absolutely, we'd love to.
Okay, fantastic. And guys, if you like content like this, you want more testimonials like this here on the channel, please smash that thumbs up button below. That's going to help out our algorithms. If you're a subscriber already, thanks for coming back. If you are not, hit that subscribe button below and ding that bell notification. That's going to give you alerts as we're bringing new valuable content here on the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel, where we talk about all things credit, capital, and cash flow. Until next time, guys, take care and make it a great day.